I'm really sorry we had to cut in that particular story. My colleague Maxwell Baba was coming to us live from Tema, where some dock laborers are protesting. But currently in Parliament, the Speaker of Parliament has taken his seat, and Parliament is expected to address a lot of concerns. Among that is the ongoing Appointments Committee bribery scandal. So we can cross over live to Parliament now.
Bless the efforts of those who struggle to make this vision a living reality, inspire and strengthen our people, that they may give time, thought, and sacrifice to speed the day of the coming people of Ghana and Africa. Amen. Members, item 3, correction of votes and proceedings and official report. Votes and proceedings of Friday, 27th January 2017. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. Yes,
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm sorry to bring you back. Right Honorable Speaker, on Friday I was in the House, but I've been marked absent. So if the table office can effect the correction.
On page
8. Thank you.
And the name?
The name, Right Honorable Speaker, is Tim Augustine Collins.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Anna.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was here on Friday, but on page 8, number 6, I've been marked absent.
Page 4. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Right Honorable Speaker, I was here last Friday and made a correction as to the deletion of my name and asked the table office to make the needed correction. But as it's here on page 9, it's not been captured as such, and I would like it to be noted.
Page 9 and the name, just for the sake of the record.
Name is Honorable George Mreku Duka, Takwa Inswaim.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Page 14. Page 15. Page 15. Page 16. Page 16. Page 17. Page 18. Page 19. Page 18. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Page 18, item 23. My name is Kwachi Aka with a hyphen. Kwachi Aka. It should be a hyphen, so the surname is Kwachi Aka compound.
Thank you very much. Page 20. Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, sorry to take you back. Page 8. Friday I was present, but I was marked absent.
What's your name?
Bernard Ahiafo.
Thank you very much. Page 21. Page 22.
Honorable Speaker.
Page 21, yes. Honorable. Any correction? Page 21. Yes, Honorable.
Page 21, number 9, Honorable Charles Kunadu Yadom. The Kunadu Yadom is hyphenated. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Member, are you on your feet? Page 22. Page 23. Page 24. Page 25. Page 26. Page 27. 28. Page 29. Page 30. Page 31. Page 32. Page 33. Page 34. Page 35. Page 36. Page 37. Yes, Anna.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Page 37, as part of the Committee on Lands and Forestry, number 16. My name is Saibu Suhini Al-Hassan and not Swalihu. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Page 38, page 39. Page 40. Page 41. Page 42. Any correction? Page. Yes, honorable member.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Under the Committee on Food, Agriculture and Cocoa Affairs, number 14, my name is Samuel Abdullahi Jabanite. The Jabanite is wrongly spelled, so if it could be corrected. Thank you.
Thank you. 43. Page 44. Page 45. Yes or no?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry to reverse you to page 24, Public Accounts Committee. The second name, Edward Derry Kala Ewula. The Kala Ewula, I don't know how they spell it. It cannot be, I don't understand the word there. So if they can correct that. The Ewula is E-W-O-L-A. It is not showing as part of the name. Please. Thank you.
Page 46. Page 47. Yes,
The Speaker, 47, attendance, Committee of Selection. My name, Telabi, has been wrongly spelled. It should be T-E-R-L-A-B-I, not I-A-B-I. Thank you very much.
Page 48. However, the votes and proceedings of Friday, 27th January 2017, as corrected, are hereby admitted as true record of proceedings. Parliamentary debates, official report, Wednesday, 25th January 2017. Any corrections? Honorable.
Right Honorable Speaker. Column 262. Is where I began my statement. And then if you come to column 265, Right Honorable Speaker, I ended my statement with, I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your kind audience. That was completely omitted. And I beg that same be properly captured. Yes, I did so. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
For the attention of the table office, any more corrections? Any more corrections? The official report of Wednesday, 25th January 2017 is hereby, as corrected, is hereby admitted. Honorable Majority Leader.
Speaker, I do know that you have accepted some statements, but before you permit the presentation of a statement, may I, Mr. Speaker, seek your leave to alter the business as set out on the order paper, to have item listed as number 6 on page 1 of the order paper dealt with now before the statement is read.
The order of business is the issue. Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there is no objection. I believe that the Majority Leader wants the Local Governance Amendment Bill to be laid, probably for the Minister to provide an explanation why she lays it, why she thinks that it's a matter which urgently should be looked at by this House. Thank you.
Honorable Members, I'll thereby vary the order and take item number 6 on the other paper. We therefore move to first reading of bills, presentation and first reading of bills. Item 6 on the other paper. Honorable Minister for Local Government.
Local Government Amendment Bill. An act to amend the Local Government Act 2016, Act 936, to provide for the discretion of the President to revoke the appointment of an appointed member of a district assembly.
Order. Order. Honorable members, order. The bill is read the first time and is referred to the Committee on Local Government and Rural Development for consideration and reports. Honorable members, item 4, statements. Order. Honorable members, there is a statement admitted. Statement by the first Deputy Speaker, Honorable Joseph Osewusu, MP for Bekwai, on allegations of bribery made against him.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Mr. Speaker, it is with a heavy heart that I make this statement on the floor of this House today. On Friday, the 27th of January, 2017, at about 15:13 p.m., whilst I was in this House, this same chamber, waiting for the House to resume following suspension of sitting earlier on in the day, I received a WhatsApp message from a friend in the media, which showed that one Sami Ablodepe is purporting to report from Parliament that Mr. Bochejaku is alleged to have given to Honorable Osewusu the amount of 100,000 Ghana cedis to be doled out to members to pass him as Minister for Energy. The message further said, and I quote, Mr. Speaker, each member of the majority was given 3,000 Ghana cedis. The minority has since returned the money to Honorable Osewusu, who has in turn given it back to Mr. Jaku, who was spotted coming to Parliament to collect it from Honorable Osewusu. Very shameful act. And this Mr. Jaku criminal calls President Mahama corrupt, unquote. Upon inquiry, the Parliamentary Press Corps leadership told me that the alleged reporter is not part of the Parliamentary Press Corps. I showed the message to the majority leadership, and we laughed about it, thinking it was one of the usual misinformation tricks of some partisan journalists. However, not long after, in about an hour after the message was brought to my attention, other colleague MPs also showed me publications by some respectable news houses, like Major Online, Peace FM Online, and others. They attributed their story to Honorable Mahama Ayariga, a member of Parliament for Boku Central, and also a member of the Appointments Committee, which I chair. Mr. Speaker, I was livid. Not long after that, those publications were brought to my attention, however, the Speaker suspended sitting in the chamber. Upon an application from the minority leader, requesting that the leadership went into a meeting with the Appointments Committee members to reconsider the parts of its report regarding Mr. Bochejaku and Mr. Yosaf Mafu that had attracted some disagreement. At that caucus meeting, Mr. Speaker, the minority leader and his team, comprising Honorable Mama Ayariga, Honorable Okojeta Blakwa, Honorable Suhuhini, Honorable Joseph Yelechire, Honorable Samson Ahi, and Honorable Eric Opoku, pointed out to the ministers designate, Taboche Jaku and Honorable Yosef Mafo, what in their testimonies they in the minority found offensive, and that if they agreed to offer further elucidation or, in the alternative, withdraw those specific statements, they will withdraw their objection and have them approved by consensus, rather than by majority decision as recommended in the report. Mr. Speaker, the two nominees took a cue from the discussions and offered explanations and different choice of words which satisfied the minority side, after which they announced their withdrawal of the objection and agreed to them being approved by consensus. Mr. Speaker, at this juncture, I insisted that the committee had to deal with the allegations of bribery attributed to Honorable Mahama Ayariga. The minority members in unison appealed to me to take it easy. It was at this time that a member said that because Honorable Ejaku had called, quote, their President Mahama corrupt, they were spreading the corruption allegation to cover all. You all laughed about it, thinking that it indeed would end there. Later that evening, however, what I'd report on the floor had been published by the press from the press. Now, Honorable Ayariga took to social media to repeat their own truths about me, and even went on Joy News flagship program the following day, the news file, to repeat same. Fortunately for me, news file gave me the opportunity to speak to the matter. Mr. Speaker, let me repeat here, for the avoidance of doubt, that I, Joseph Oseusu, MP for Bekwai, First Deputy Speaker, and Chairman of the Appointments Committee, have never discussed, requested, demanded, nor received money of whatever quantum for myself or committee members from Mr. Boche Jaku or any other person for that matter. Neither have I discussed, offered, or given any money to Honorable Muntaka Mubarak for himself or for the members of the minority on the Appointments Committee. The allegation by Honorable Mahama Ayariga, therefore, is a colossal untruth which has done grievous damage to my reputation, my hard-earned integrity as a lawyer of 27 years standing, a public servant of high repute, a respected member of parliament of the Bekwai constituency and Ashanti region. Let me further put on record that the Appointment Committee always takes a decision on every nominee who appears before it as soon as the day's proceedings are over. The Speaker, decisions on Mr. Boche Jaku and Mr. Yosef Mafo were taken the same night after they appeared before the committee, i.e., on 20th and on 23rd of January 2017, respectively. The decisions were that the minority would not support them, and therefore they will be recommended to be approved by a majority decision in the House. It was the minority leader who requested that we should allow them some time to consult among themselves further. The minority's position did not change until last Friday, when the minority leader insisted that the consideration of the two nominees be brought to a closure. The charge of bribery for the majority to pass the nominee, therefore, does not fit in the equation, as the nominee had already been recommended to be passed by majority the same night the nominee was vetted. Mr. Speaker, recognizably, the NPP has such a huge majority in Parliament, and as such does not need to pay a bribe to have its way in this House. That is, assuming bribery has been part of the business of this House. The need to have consensus is largely to benefit the minority, to the extent that their concerns may be taken into consideration in decision making. To turn around to accuse the majority of bribing the minority therefore, is illogical, ill-motivated, and in bad faith. I shudder to think that such a development, if not properly handled, may lead the leadership of the majority to reconsider its position on any consensus-building endeavor, lest some members abuse it to create mistrust for the majority in the eyes of the public. Mr. Speaker, I have a dilemma. My fervent heart's desire is to go to the civil court to reclaim my integrity. I'm, however, aware of the challenges one has to battle with in any litigation involving a sitting member of parliament. Mr. Speaker, you have the power to permit service of court processes on a sitting member of parliament through your office. I crave your indulgence to assist me to ventilate my grievance in court. If I'm successful, it may help redeem the image of this parliament, which is often battered by its own members. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity to make this statement. Thank you.
Without further ado, and as agreed with leadership, we will also have the second statement, which has been duly admitted by the Honorable Nana Ayo Afiyi.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for this opportunity to speak on the floor. Mr. Speaker, taking due cognizance of the provisions of Order 72, affirmed by 73.1, I humbly crave your indulgence to bring to your notice an allegation of bribery leveled against the chairman as well as the other members of appointment committee by the Honorable Member for Boku Central, Honorable Mahama Ayariga. Mr. Speaker, currently trending in the mass media is this allegation by my honorable friend, who is also the chairman of the subsidiary legislation committee, that minority members of the appointments committee were bribed to approve of the nomination of the then minister designate for energy. Mr. Speaker, the honorable gentleman is reported to have made mention of the honorable member for Asawase, who is the minority chief whip, as his source of evidence. Mr. Speaker, as a friend of the appointments committee, I have witnessed the meticulous and tedious nature of their deliberations, recognizing also the longevity of their sitting and cautious speed to work in order for His Excellency, the President, to commence the full business of government. Mr. Speaker, an allegation of such severity and sensitivity is not only an embarrassment to the chairman and members of the appointments committee, but by extension, the whole House. This, Mr. Speaker, impugns on our credibility and cripples commitment to work. Mr. Speaker, we have been the subject of public ridicule after this allegation. Mr. Speaker, inspired by the provision of Order 28 and Article 122 of the 1992 Constitution, this allegation, when unsubstantiated, will be an affront to the dignity of Parliament and fuel further the perception of corruption of Parliament and parliamentarians in the discharge of parliamentary duties. Mr. Speaker, it is in this regard that I come under Order 32, which provides that the act or conduct of member to the extent that it affronts the dignity of Parliament or which tends either directly or indirectly to bring the name of Parliament into disrepute constitutes a breach of privilege or contempt of Parliament. In the event, I humbly make a complaint of breach of privilege against the Honorable Mayama Ayariga, the member for Boku Central, and duly appeal to you, Mr. Speaker, to invoke your powers under Order 31 to have the said member referred to the Committee of Privileges. I thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for your indulgence.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Right Honorable Speaker, I rise with your indulgence, and probably even before I proceed, to draw your attention to the fact that whilst the statement by the First Deputy Speaker and Chairman of the Appointments Committee is urging you to grant him immunity to proceed to court to redeem his image. Subsequent thereupon, the Honorable Member is asking for a referral of the matter to the Privileges Committee in a complaint. Mr. Speaker, let me also draw your attention to the fact that the Honorable Mahama Ayariga, supported by the Honorable Sami Okujato Ablaka and the Honorable Said Alasan Soyene, wrote formally to you on 30th January requesting for an internal inquiry into this matter. But whatever it is, Mr. Speaker, the bribery scandal allegation means a lot to this House, to the reputation, the dignity of this House, and to the integrity of members of this House. Mr. Speaker, the Ghanaian public, as I have observed, is very, very angry and will want nothing but us to establish the truth or otherwise of these allegations. It is one person's word or one honorable member's word against the other. Mr. Speaker, coincidentally, the First Deputy Speaker and Chairman of the Appointments Committee also doubles as Chairman of the Privileges Committee. So even the principles of law, I cannot see, even though naturally the Privileges Committee will have a Vice Chairman, but a referral to that committee where he will preside over the matter itself will lead to questions. Mr. Speaker, the Ghanaian public and the world alike expect nothing but for us to establish and share with them the truth of a full-scale investigation to establish who is truthful and who is not. I'm minded by a quote that God cannot be for and against the same matter at the same time. God will stand by those who are truthful and righteous and those who are morally right against wrong. But it must be established. It must be established. It must be established, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I will urge you, I've heard the First Deputy Speaker, and as ranking member on the Appointments Committee, we are particularly concerned. We need to redeem personal integrities, secure personal reputations, restore the dignity and reputation of this House. But we must do so only after a careful and thorough investigation into the matter. We on this side have no objection to you proceeding further. Suffice it to add, Mr. Speaker, that I would wish that given that the three other colleagues have requested for an internal scrutiny, whilst I have no control over what your judgment will be, Mr. Speaker, I will request that you refer this to a special ad hoc committee, and may I refer you to Order 191 of our standing orders. And Mr. Speaker, with your indulgence, I read. The House may, at any time by motion, appoint special or ad hoc committee to investigate any matter of public importance, to consider any bill that does not come under the jurisdiction of any of the standing or select committee, because of the very reason I said, that the chairman of the appointments committee and the one making the complaint supported by the member, in order to redeem his image, even when referrals are made to the Privileges Committee, not the detail I shared with them. We will be guided by your good example, and we want to get to the bottom of this particular matter, that who has done what, who has engaged in what transaction to achieve what. But Right Honourable Speaker, may I further request you to refer this matter to a special ad hoc committee. Should they work and we find their work unsatisfactory, together with the Ghanaian public, you may consider other possible and appropriate legal remedies to look in the matter. What is important to us is establishing the truth or otherwise of the allegations to which he has made those claims, and for them to establish the otherwise of it. I accordingly submit that, Mr. Speaker, refer this matter without prejudice to ensuring that the truth is established, and accordingly they would invite witnesses to testify, and then the committee will submit a report to you, and whatever sanctions, Mr. Speaker, this House should not fail the Ghanaian public in exacting what is right from whoever is right or wrong. I'm unable at this juncture to know who is standing where God stands, where the truth stands. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Majority Leader.
Speaker, the allegation that has saturated the entire Ghanaian atmosphere over the past 4 days, Mr. Speaker, is indeed an earth-shaking allegation and must be handled with extreme care. Mr. Speaker, I agree with the Honourable Minority Leader that Parliament, as representatives of the people, should be concerned with establishing the truthfulness of any issue that comes before us. And in this particular instance, which relates to certain named persons in this House, Mr. Speaker, we must get to the bottom of this business. Mr. Speaker, the Honourable Osei Owusu Joseph, the first Deputy Speaker and the Member of Parliament for Bekwai, in making the statement that he made before this House, Mr. Speaker, represented by his own composure and demeanor that indeed is a person who has suffered some mortal wound. Mr. Speaker, so the statement is a dirge. It's a dirge of lamentations, and one could understand. The second statement invited you, Mr. Speaker, to refer the conduct of
the Honorable Member, the Honorable Mahama Ayariga, to the Privileges Committee. Mr. Speaker, our orders provide that committees with defined remit should be assigned the responsibility of inquiring into any matter within their remit. However, in this particular case, as the minority leader has alluded to, the primary person who is being cited, the Honorable Osei Owusu, the chairman of the appointment committee, doubles up as the chairman of the privileges committee. So in this particular instance, if the matter is referred to the committee, he will be required to chair. In the alternative, he may recuse himself for the vice chairman to be in the chair. My worry, Mr. Speaker, is that if it should go to the privileges committee, it may attract unnecessary partisanship. And for that reason, I tend to agree with the application by the minority leader that the matter be sent to a special purpose committee charged with the responsibility of delving into this matter. Mr. Speaker, thereafter, giving us, after establishing the truth or otherwise in the allegation, giving us their own observations and conclusions as to the way forward for the conduct of business in this House. Mr. Speaker, so in order not to waste much time on this proposal, I would first want to move for the establishment of the special committee first, as required by Order 191 of our standing orders, the House may at any time by motion appoint a special or ad hoc committee to investigate any matter of public importance or to consider any bill that does not come under the jurisdiction of any of the standing or select committees. Speaker, in this case, is the first leg of the order that matters to us. Speaker, whilst we are this, I guess maybe it may be part of the remit of the committee to define for us what the real intendment of Order 20 and indeed Article 115 of the Constitution represents. Because, Mr. Speaker, Order 20 provides there shall be freedom of speech, debate, and proceedings in Parliament, and that freedom shall not be impeached or questioned in any court or place out of Parliament. Speaker, there shall be freedom of speech, debate, and proceedings in Parliament, and that freedom shall not be impeached or questioned in any court or place out of Parliament. What this means is that that freedom can be impeached or questioned in Parliament itself. And that indeed is the application submitted by the minority leader. And Speaker, the other consideration is whether the phraseology in Parliament should be construed to mean within the presence of Parliament. Again, as I said, it will be for the Special Purpose Committee to define for us or to help us come to some determination in these matters. The Speaker, having said so, I beg to move that, given the circumstances, this House appoint a special committee to investigate this matter of alleged bribery and submit recommendations to us about the way forward. Mr. Speaker, I so move. And Speaker, may I further amend it that we constitute a 5-member special committee to deal with this. When we have agreed, then we shall propose the names for the membership of the committee. Mr. Speaker, thank you, and I so submit.
Honorable Minority Leader, I thought on this occasion you'll be praying unto me to duly appoint a committee. I do not see the pathway of a motion and secondment. So, I want that leaders will avoid that pathway.
Mr. Speaker, we essentially will take guidance from you. My colleague have referred to Article 115 of the Constitution. There are many other provisions of the Constitution, and by convention, Parliament does have an investigative function and one to investigate alleged bribery scandal and submit a report to you. So, Mr. Speaker, we'll take a clue from you. It's important that this matter is investigated, brought to closure, the findings shared with the Ghanaian public. We need to win the public trust and public confidence in the work that we do. And I do associate myself with the Honorable Majority Leader in supporting that you set up this ad hoc committee to look into the matter and bring a report to Parliament, and for us to act on the outcome and recommendations of the committee. So we'll wait for your guidance on the matter, Mr. Speaker. I don't need to second a motion. I don't think we are coming by motion.
No, he came by motion second.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got guidance from Mr. Speaker. I second the motion. Thank you.
Honorable Majority Leader, are you inclined towards a motion approach?
Mr. Speaker, by our orders, the establishment of the special or ad hoc committee requires a motion to be moved, which is what I did under Order 191. Because there's no other way to establish the committees of this House are established by the Committee of Selection. It's only the special or ad hoc committee that is established on the spur of the moment, on the phase of any development, the Speaker, and if it has to be established, it must be established by a motion moved on the floor, which is what I've done. And it's been duly seconded by the Minority Leader, who initially, I guess, was on some waters.
Well, in the circumstances, I will first agree that there should be such a committee established. Then, the leaders may move a motion in terms of the length and membership for approval. And it will be neater, to my mind, if the two stages are taken one after the other. The first is the agreement that there should be such a committee at all, and then a motion in which the House will approve of membership and time limit, time frame for that. So, honorable members, with regard to this request, which is an appeal to the House, with regard to what we all know is a matter of concern today. I am the opinion that this is not just a matter of privilege of members of the House and allied matters under Order 31. And in fact, I'm of the view also that the chairmanship of a committee may not necessarily affect such a situation. In other words, a chairman may be asked to excuse himself in certain circumstances. That is done in any corporate or other situation. It's doable. But I'm more inclined towards 191. The House may at any time, by motion, appoint special or ad hoc committee to investigate any matter of public importance. In fact, this is where the inherent inquisitorial power of Parliament is captured in our rules. And this should also put to rest whether Parliament can inquire into matter A or matter B any time in the history of this Republic. Parliament, as the representative of the people, is empowered inherently, and it is recognized in this particular part of our standing orders to inquire into any matter from archaeology to zoology within the Republic of Ghana. It may affect MPs, it may affect ministers, it may concern some cattle rearers or galamseyers. But one thing is that Parliament has that power to set up a special committee to investigate into a matter that is of public interest. And under that order, I will rule that it is fit and proper for such a special committee to be set up accordingly into this matter of public interest. I will want members of the public to note that this is not like pushing anything under the carpet, but that it is a power of general application. And it may involve MPs, it may involve any other person, body or authority within this Republic. In the circumstances, honorable leaders, if you were advised, me having ruled approving of the setting up of such a committee, advice on time frame and membership of this committee. Any motion that regarding which honorable members may contribute, and we conclude that matter. For the record, that will include members, terms of reference, time frame. Then we'll vote, we'll put a question on that, and we conclude the matter. Honorable Majority Leader.
Speaker, leadership has had some consultation, and we have agreed to have the following to constitute the committee. The Honorable Joe Gatti to be the chair, the Honorable Ben Abdallah Banda, Honorable Amapoma Boating, the Honorable Amwate Magnus, then the Honorable B.T. Baba, I should say, D.T. Baba. These are the 5 honorable members that have agreed to serve on the committee. In respect of the time, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Honorable members, order.
For the time frame, members, including the committee members, know the gravity of the issue, and the Speaker, we do not want to stampede them. We want them to do a very thorough job, and at the end of the day, come with their own observations and recommendations, the way forward.
Order, honorable members.
The Parliament.
Order.
So, Mr. Speaker, respectfully, we want to leave the time frame to the committee members, but they should be conscious of the exigencies of these times and public interest in the matter. And I believe they will not disappoint us. Speaker, the terms of reference, I guess once you approve.
Honorable Leader, so the time frame is?
Speaker, I said to us that we'll leave the time frame to the committee members. They themselves should be conscious of the gravity of the issue at hand and also the enormous public interest in the matter. But certainly they will know that, also given the fact that the budget season is with us, they may have to finish with the discharge of this responsibility before the budget comes to this House. So, Mr. Speaker, I guess if we have to press, I would suggest that we give them a period of not more than 4 weeks. Not more than 4 weeks.
And Honorable Leader, Honorable Majority Leader, terms of reference for avoidance of doubt. All right, Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much once again.
Order.
Mr. Speaker, even before you proceed to hear us on the composition, terms of reference, and timelines for the committee, I would have wished that you put a question to the earlier motion on the ad hoc committee as we decided. I didn't see you on the special investigative committee to look into this matter. But be as it may, Mr. Speaker, I support the 5-member committee. We have Benson Tongo Baba and Magnus Kofi Amwate together with the other 3 names that the majority leader mentioned. And Mr. Speaker, there is enormous public interest in this matter. And it's also a matter which affects persons' reputations and that of Parliament. I will support that not later than 30 days, the committee should submit its report. But its terms of reference is already defined and known to investigate into the alleged bribery allegation of the Honorable Mahama Ayariga and Co., and to do an internal inquiry as to whether or not there were efforts and attempts to bribe members of the appointments committee or not. And then the complaints of the first deputy speaker. And Mr. Speaker, as a rule, thankfully we have done that no member of the appointments committee should be associated with the work of the committee. So part of the terms of reference is to look into the remit of the complaint of the first deputy speaker and the assertions he made on matters affecting his standing. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Majority Leader, are you inclined to add any other related matter?
The Speaker, as the Minority Leader has indicated, specific allegations were made. And so it will be for the committee to determine the allegations, who made allegations. They've been attributed to some people. For all you know, they may appear before the committee and perhaps indicate that, well, in these days, perhaps there's been some cut and paste, or maybe their voices have been doctored and so on and so forth. Mr. Speaker, it is for the committee to determine. So it is the allegation as espoused or as set out by the First Deputy Speaker that they may have to investigate and any other related matters.
Honorable Deputy First Deputy Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I have heard what the leaders have suggested. I reluctantly agree to it, but the specific allegation that I, Joseph Oseusu, took money from Honorable Bache Jaku, gave it to the Honorable Chief Whip to be distributed to the members, I think should be number one on the terms of reference, and then any other matters, because that was the basis of the action I was seeking leave to take. So, Speaker, I think after that, any other related matters may be investigated. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
That it should be specifically captured and the question answered whether the Honorable Deputy Speaker did take money from the Honorable Minority Chief Whip and hand it over for an improper motive. Honorable First Deputy Speaker, it's important to have this fully and properly captured so that the terms of reference should be made clear. Honorable Majority Leader, do you have any further comment? Honorable Minority Leader.
Yes,
so that the question will be clear and then it will be put.
If you may direct that, as he stated, it is captured as his primary terms of reference and other related matters, as the Majority Leader said. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Majority Leader.
The Speaker, just as I stated, I said the basis for the statement, the attributions, should be the basis for defining the terms of reference. And then we shall have any other connected matters put before the committee, in particular relating to determining the way forward for us as a House. So, Mr. Speaker, I agree that that should be the remit of the committee.
Honorable members, the motion has been moved and seconded. It's for consideration of the House. Members may contribute. And contribution is restricted to terms, membership, terms of reference, and length. In the circumstances I'll put a question. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against the motion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Meanwhile, it will be very dignifying if members of this honorable House will not undermine the work being done by public comments. In fact, that may amount to contempt of a high-powered parliamentary special committee. Honorable members, item 5. Item 5 on the other paper. Chairman of the Appointments Committee.
Speaker.
Yes, Majority.
Speaker, the referral.
Order, honorable members.
A referral has been made to the Committee on Local Government and Rural Development in respect of the Local Governance Amendment Bill 2017. Mr. Speaker, I have just noticed that it is a one subclause amendment, and I believe the committee may be able to deal with it today. But of course, it doesn't lie with me to determine whether or not they may consider it as a matter of urgency. It doesn't lie with me. For which reason, Mr. Speaker, I will appeal to you to have the House suspended and to allow the committee to go and sit over the referral. And if they deem it as a matter of urgency, to so report to us. If indeed they could do with it in 2-3 days, so be that. Mr. Speaker, let the committee go and sit on the matter in earnest.
Honorable Minority.
You have a committee.
Mr. Speaker, the bill was late and appropriately referred to you to the Committee on Local Government. It doesn't lie within the majority leader to want to stampede the Committee on Local Government to work. Mr. Speaker, he has said that it's just a one-clause amendment. The committee must go and relate that one clause to every other clause in the Act, and therefore he should not just construe it as a one-item agenda. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, under the circumstances, you may adjourn the House. We are not in any rush to see through this particular amendment. Tomorrow, when the committee, or the next day when the committee is done, they can report back to us. Thank you. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker,